Hello, I hope and pray all is well with you. Not gonna lie, I have been recovering from a lot of things happening to me, but I thought it was kind of cool to get on here to communicate with you guys. I hope and pray all is well with you. I'm doing my best. I'm recovering from a lot of things that have happened, um, but nevertheless, I thought it was kind of wise to go ahead and put out a message. And what came up is like really important that I should let you know that I'm going to follow. It's in connection to the deck that I'm holding right now. It's Mystic Fairy Tarot. I'm going to be going with the back of this to answer the questions. I apologize if I miss any words, if I say something a little bit weird. I am in Hyoko mode if I've explained it to you before or you're familiar with that. I'm a little bit short of breath, but I'm doing my best. I've been feeling good. I go through spouts of it and then I'm able to get out of it. So just be mindful with me as I'm doing my best and being discerning. There's a lot more than some of you know that's been going on with me, but I'm doing my best in spite of everything that's been happening. Number one is what you need to know most about what you fear. I hope and pray all is well with you all. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Tati. Right now I'm injured in a lot of ways. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Grateful to have you here. And I've been in the process of, oh, I have some honey water. And I'm in the process of using a new camera equipment app. It's called Moment. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I just thought I would put it out there as there's a certain change. I'm wanting to adjust, but I feel like I should just let it go. The question is for number one, what do you need to know more about what you fear? You've been feeling instability as you have huge victories that are here, and you feel like gatherings and things like that, what you're holding, you know that you're going to be able to maintain and keep the success, okay? Nobody can take this from you as you've secured it. But you feel like you've been weighing all of your options. You've been having to change, maybe even changing your clothes has been a bit rough, or you're getting back into the habit of certain things, or you know somebody who's been going through this process, however it may affect them. And condolences to you all that are going through things. Oh, excuse me. Trying to stretch my back. Oh, thank you for the healing. If you guys are sending healing, I definitely do feel it and appreciate it very much. It's not like force or anything. It's just me saying thank you. But yeah, I'm seeing here that a lot of you guys have also been going through some self-expression concerns. Maybe there was something here with cybernetics issues or concerns and how to adapt. Something here with linguistics abilities. Um, Somebody was telling me in Chiron intuition more specifically was saying something about um, psychopath type of situations, like maybe you've been dealing with those in close proximities to you. Mm. And in some ways, what happens with that is that um, what can occur is oftentimes you may feel like there's an issue with distinguishing. So you might feel like you become a sociopath quite essentially around certain people, or you have sociopathic tendencies or reactions, in which may cause you to feel like you're unstable in the mind, when in reality it's just that there's a conflict of interest between your health and theirs, or someone else around you, as there may be multiple people. Six of Wands can typically depict that there's other people, and there's just a symbolicism of prudence around, in spite of victory or success in which you've overcome and proceeded some things. And of course, you may have seen some of these images or descriptions of things in your day-to-day life. Just trying to be a little bit simple, not vague, just for the sake of making sure that I can breathe and everything. Okay. And for number two, what aspect of your fear is real? Okay, let's go ahead and look into this. What aspect of your fear is real? I actually have the Charming Fools and True Lovers deck that I'm going to use for this question. I just feel like the optimism with it. I feel like leaning into it a bit. What aspects of your fear is real? Pardon me. I'm so very sorry. We have 43, pro athlete. We have 3, the architect. And we have 8 here, the billionaire. So we have 43, 38. 4, 6, 8 can be very significant. I'm also getting here 4, 9, 8. 4, 18, 18, 8. And I'm getting 4, 11. 43, 11. Okay. So these could be very significant for you. Aspects of your fear that may be real is you may feel like you are toughening up and you're playing too hard to get for yourself. And you may feel like there's somebody or something that's very important to you as you mind your time. I'm also getting here there's something about you having gatherings like these before and feeling underwhelmed. I can tell by the tendencies with moodiness around heat, how to transmute fire, how to calm and cool fire, as there's been tendencies of this within the weather that also display that even bills during this time may cause stress, elevation of worry, also inflating things on purpose. Be mindful of this. You may be too extreme during this time with yourself as you may need to calm down. Masculine energies only, ones that are born with an Audi. I mean, please, in deep respect. Oh, excuse me. I mean, no form of rudeness. I'm just stepping away from my desk. Something that I do from time to time. Oh, I needed to switch over to my cooler water, which is in the kitchen. I have some Priyanite over there that may be very significant, or some of you guys may be fond of. That may be something that I sit here or there, like on different sides of the kitchen, but it's kind of cool to have in there a green one. More specifically, in your kitchen, I was told is actually very kind all year round. It's a natural cleanser too for a stone. And it reminds me of like cleaning yourself out with coppers and irons, things of that nature, making sure that you have it in your body and stuff like that, right? And zinc is not a bad one at all to have in your system during this time of just period. A lot of people get a lot of great energy and life from zinc. I wanted to read these though, if I'm being honest with you, because I really do admire this deck a lot. Um, so let's go ahead and see if we can get, oh, somebody maybe the military officer, maybe around 32 or 32 could be very significant in this situation. All right, that could be something that's important, or somebody that has duplicate hobbies of work. priest. The priest came through too. But we're on the pro athlete. And it says, driven and disciplined. He plays hard. Can he play nice? What he is, the pro athlete is competitive, disciplined, and has an intense drive to succeed. His focus and determination are admirable, and pushing he's used to pushing his limits. However, his competitive nature can sometimes spill over in other areas of life, making balance and compromise difficult. This card embodies ambition, physical excellence, and striving for greatness in connection to what he represents. The pro athlete encourages you to push your limits, but also reminds you that competition isn't always the key to harmonious relationships. How can you reflect on this? Is the main one that I'm getting to push for you guys is, are you inspired by his drive or exhausted by his competitiveness? Now, I was able to read personally, so I know for me it helped me to calm down my spirit. If you needed to have some input, hopefully, if you didn't need any input, you were able to skip through. I do apologize if I did say it too quickly. Sometimes people don't need opinions, and I do apologize for that. Sometimes it's good to consider too, though. So we'll look into that. The architect is number 3, thoughtful and precise, great at layouts, bad at laying out emotions. Now, what he is. The architect loves building stability and order, planning for the future, and creating a solid foundation. He is reliable, thoughtful, and dedicated, but often struggles to express his emotions. He may forget that warmth, spontaneity, and emotional presence are just as important as providing security and structure. What he represents. This card is about creating stability while recognizing the importance of emotional connection. The architect offers security, reliability, and long term vision, but without emotional depth and genuine intimacy. Even the best structure can feel simply in code. I like that I'm actually walking away while I'm reading this, or just kind of going back and forth, because it's allowing me to see how good the audio is. Let me know how you guys feel about it, if you guys like this app and if it's working good together, because remember, I had just gotten newer equipment when it came to my headphones and things like that, but also I had gotten a new microphone and things that I was checking out. How can you reflect? I'm thinking to choose the third one here. It says, are you mistaking practical actions for true emotional depth and connection? Are you mistaking practical actions for true emotional depth and connection? It's like, are you falling for somebody in a wrongful manner? Or are you wanting to determine how the manner goes when it's supposed to be something else? That's just some other side ones that are coming through. Because I feel like some people here in the masculine energy are going through that and may need to focus on receptivity of what they're giving out in other forms. It's not just related to love, it could be in forms of communion, as that may be very important. Then we have the billionaire here, number 8, which somebody says fuck the number because the number fucks itself. However, that's not necessarily the case. It has some symbolisms of 9 in it in this case, and how it's written or how it's typed out, and why I feel like I can appreciate it and admire it, as that means that it would then have the ability to be created into showing signs of a 1 at times, if you look at it in certain manners. I know somebody who's really interested in numbers and things like that, but also loves architecture. So every time I look at this 8, I'm able to appreciate it a bit more without too much trilogy or tragic energy towards it. I think that's why I was mainly attracted to this deck. I was inspired by, I cannot remember the beginning part of it. Oh my goodness. Yolanda Williams Tarot. But I know that it's not tarot within, I don't know how it's put, but Yolanda Williams, and I know that they're a minister, among other things, and it's quite awesome. Anyway, anywho, They have great messages over there, and they help me a whole lot. They remind me of Nana Baroku, although they remind me too of Fifi. Now, for billionaire, it's captivating yet hard to reach. He is a prize with a crowded race. What he is, the billionaire enters your life with mystery and success. He has wealth, charm, and allure, but his many admirers make him hard to reach. He knows he's a prize, and other women remind him of it. Being with him can feel glamorous but competitive. What he represents. The billionaire symbolizes abundance, exclusivity, and a desire for something rare. He offers excitement, but true happiness comes from inner peace, not from winning a prize. Reflect on whether you want him for who he is or for the status he represents. How can you reflect? I'm picking up one again. Can you be happy without needing to win someone's love? It's a very important question. Somebody said that they didn't necessarily like the way that it was worded initially, but they need to look into that because this is a question in which they struggle with. They had someone who mothered may I too much in their life, and so they actually do need to reference the cans. As Con and K with an E over its signal has been singing this signs for a very long time in connection to how you need to grow yourself, especially if you have African dichotomy or roots or heritage in any way, shape, or form. It's been on my mind for a while. I wanted to make sure I saved the note and sent it off to you. I've been feeling like how Gandalf feels when he comes back from his journeys of adventures and he has to remind others to remind him about things that happens and comes up when he faints, as he's been known to be a bit forgetful, and to bear with him. Be mindful, I do have on some shoes that kind of have these squeaky squats, and my chair, y'all know, had a little like sound to it here and there that made it sound like I would take a who, whatever. So just be mindful. Just be mindful. Oh my goodness. And my hands. I'm recovering from injury. A few, but I'll be fine. Okay, now back to it. For number 3, how can you combat it? How can you combat it? We're not going to use this deck for this one. As I was feeling that it will be necessary to use this one. But it's wise to shuffle through with the Mr. Fairy Tarot in mind, as it is the deck that we're using the backs of. I think it's kind of wise. How you can combat it. Thank you very much. I do have sometimes a signal of dyslexia when I'm recovering. I have like this cut in my glasses on both sides. It's 2 chips. So I'm needing to recover. But yeah. Oh, you have Muse at the bottom of the deck, okay? Take time away from the daily hustle. Give yourself quiet time in nature to muse. Create space for your creativity, and fresh ideas will flow. I know I've been doing that. I've been focusing on self-improvement within my communication as things have transpired. And I've also had a lot of things that wanted to trigger my trauma. I have a lot of PTSD, you guys, and so I try to do my best in recovery. People know this, okay? People know how it started too, and so you just got to be very, very careful. Mindfulness is here. It's the first one. Listen to your intuition. Be mindful of what your inner being says to you. Follow your gut feelings and stay connected to the divine within. This is the Divine Feminine Entrepreneur. We have broadcast. Develop your unique voice. Then get your message out to your ideal audience. Consider starting a podcast or radio show. You have speak. People may have complimented you on your public speaking as of late. I know somebody definitely gave me a compliment in which I really admired and appreciated when it came to that. And also, I'm thinking of this cool ass design when it comes to my nails, and I hope that I'm able to do it. I'm willing to honor what'll come with it because I literally had to do a clean break of nail, like my full nail. So I have nerve injuries and stuff like that too that I was already recovering from when somebody like attacked me at my kid's school. Okay, it was kind of crazy than a motherfucker. I was like, really? Like, I'm not even deserving of this type of shit. You really have no idea. You would really be upset with yourself. It was crazy. But with Speak, we have take center stage, speak at events, conferences, and workshops, share your message, and transform lives through your work. And then the next one is position. Whew, goodness. Like you really leveled up, and maybe you don't give yourself enough credit. Maybe you feel like you're at an amateur point because of where you were at some point in time in retrograde, but it's like no, the retrograde is saying that you're high and you need to appreciate it. I know that's something that I can tell you directly for myself, as I've been having to remind myself of this too, as others have told me to keep reminding myself of this, which means I'm not hyping me as others hyping me. That's letting me know that I'm progressed, which I need because I'm very grounded and I can kind of pause when it comes to exciting news, but also the opposite. So I'm just trying to be mindful of myself. But we have position here, which is very important for points and stands. It says, step into your power boldly, own your topic, show how you can help, position yourself as the expert in your niche. And I've been seeing tons of finches, which is really important. And they've been very kind in guiding me, as well as cardinal energy, like cardinals, actual cardinals, and other animals outside. It's been so great. So great. We have build. Build your email list and nurture your audience by staying in touch. So there's something here about being mindful of who you're connecting with and how to remain in contact when things are necessary and vital for you, someone else, maybe being consistent in your goals where you said you'd be strength, where you said that you wouldn't be, where you said that you would find compromise. Those things may be changing as you're in a different commitment or you're seeing somebody in a different light. So be mindful not to judge yourself or others. Or what aspect of your fear is an illusion? You're getting declined, lose out. Really, it's their loss. For number 4, what aspect of your fear is an illusion? You're getting a wake-up call of snap out of this. This was never your fight. Wake up with high urgency. All is not lost, and have hope. Although it is turned upside down, all hope isn't lost. This is a severe sign of infrequency with somebody here who caused you a lack of magnetism at some point in time, in which you didn't lose out from this heartbreak. You may have just gained or earned more, and somebody wanted to make it seem like it was their total loss or your total loss when it's unnecessary, especially if you've been feeling more inclined to being stern or firm about your position and where you've stated, where you stood. You had the right idea all along. And you must trust that you too are in the Four of Swords. You too are in the Four of Swords where somebody did not want you to have truth and clarity. And so you're not in inauspiciousness. And you have rapid change that is meant to come in as there's an indirect indecision that relates to how somebody has tried to infect your impediment or your ailment or your natural gift or your natural incline. Okay? This is how I know. Everyone wanted you frazzled and stuck because you're a darling. Most likely like myself. And you love yourself. You're very adorning to yourself and you give what you feel like is meant to be given back. Now, how you can banish the illusion. I'm going to use the Tarot of Orisha for this one. How you can banish the illusion. Oh, that's so funny how they wanted to play a trick in the cards. That is so funny. This is first. Ace. Oh, I didn't even know it was Ace of Water. This one's second. Ten of Water, right? And this one is third, but it started sliding so that it would be first. Dwarves and gnomes, which means that the root of the earth knows first. Mother Gaia, Mama Gaia, Yamaya, in connection to the Holy Spirit of the Most High. It's like a form of oneness and connectedness and where they meet. Remember the rivers and the coast and how they meet and connect together. It shows that the signs will always know. Ace of Water and Ten of Cups. You see the two adorning women and woman that help and guide its way in land, how it creates the womb, Mother Earth and nature. So choosing the form of love, choosing divine feminine energy, choosing to eradicate wherever there was negativity or suffocation to somebody here, or negative endings or spite that wanted to be caught, because we have Oshala here. And Oshala is like in its very most discerning forms. Oshala is a very serious energy. And some have recently spoken of seeing images from a time that is heavily depicted as being very authentic and true. It happened. That should happen. It's bodies with proof that should happen. Now, we do have the color of love here. I love this box. And I love that they do clip art, okay? As that's really nice. And they made it a dope to note about in their info card, as well as their other forms of information, which is so awesome. I got these from Etsy. Let's go ahead and look to see. What do you fear the most? Let's go ahead and see what you fear the most. This one is one you may not even know, the one that's in the reverse, and this one is here to support what you may need from it. And then, let's see if I can shuffle this way. Oh, there's nothing to say right now. That's fine. Oh, maybe there is. Oh no. That is the communication. There's nothing to say from that side. Thank you, Loki. Hello, God, but choice. Thank you. That means they're in neutral grounds. Thank you. That's so awesome. That's great. I like the raspberry energy that's coming through here. You have distracted. A lover is distracted by heavy work demands or family issues. They might appear preoccupied or distant in interference. A third party negatively influences a lover's feelings about you. Such a person could be a parent, friend, or disapproving busybody. Somebody's not happy and they're concerned. And maybe concern for you, collective, is what it feels like. You had somebody switch sides on somebody, or somebody felt like they came close to it. And choice. A lover may approach you on a matter where you'll have a difficult choice to make. It's unclear what you will decide. These are very important and significant, and they matter. And appears distracted. You may wonder if a lover has lost interest. It's more likely they are selfish, lazy, or expect you to make the effort. That's somebody else. But also your persons that are true to you, they could be distant in this energy because there's something else that they feel like matters to them right now more, that also values you too. So it's not that you're losing your place. It's just like if your family grew, like if you're somebody who's an adopter, for an example, or somebody who, and when you have to go into that type of example type of energy, you know, how you use your heartstrings where it's like, oh, our family may have the risk of expanding or change or something like that. And that's not to be in scrutiny, but just a way of opening it up. Sound systems could be very significant or important, or equipment in which people may use in connection to that, or sound therapy may be really important or significant. Oh, goodness. Excuse me for just a moment. I needed to have a drink of water. Okay. Now, oh, that was number 6. I don't know if I said another number. How can you overcome it? How can you overcome it? I'm going to use the Interconnections Oracle deck. It's something that I learned in Socratic Seminar when I was in Avid at a few points in time. It came up a few points in time. But how you can overcome it. Oh, you can overcome it by knowing that they are speaking highly of you. They just may be bad at conversation. They're looking at your social media, or they're wondering what's happened to it, or if something's happening to you. Some may have wanted you to do this though. Yeah, they are hating. You may need to know that they are hating. Family issues are affecting this connection. That may be the truth. But somebody wanted these to happen to you, but they're bad. Like, they actually messed up is what's happened, and they keep trying to say, no, they're even. They have personal issues, see? And they already had trust issues that were affecting this connection before you entered into it. And so they feel safe around you means that they feel like they're losing out, and they want their way in to kind of check on you too. Some of those type of people are checking in on you as well. And you are better off without them. And they have people around them that have told them that you're doing better off without them because you were the good influence, and they became a good influence being around you. Yeah, you inspired this person a whole lot. Because it's pine and it has some other energies, you know, with nettle and things like that, I want to make sure that I'm being mindful to keep it healthy over here on the table. As some people have been known when there's too much green to get a little bit preoccupied and bored in the eye and kind of glare off and distance off. It's so perfect because I did not intend or set up like I just naturally had 8 decks that I just put up here without knowing about this shit right here. Like had no idea. And I had a toss up deck for Mystic Fairy Tarot if I was going to use it or Wake Me Up Tarot. And I'm so glad I chose this one because I think that I may use Wake Me Up Tarot next in my next message because I think it's quite exciting. So there was one underneath, but this was actually literally like my toss up deck, like my piles. So it just kind of worked out really well. Number 8, it says, what you will learn by overcoming this year. Your grief won't be for nothing. Your worries will be cured. You'll master yourself. Even in spite of your restlessness, it seems as though you're able to demand respect in an effortless, non-pompous, but pompously effortless manner and demeanor, as some people appreciate that auspiciousness or wit about you. Star Wars R2D2 could be very significant or important, as well as Oshun, as well as the angels of Azazel and the healthy manners are being recognized here. Azazel. Be mindful I didn't say the other. um, but I do get an energy here of you really um, providing back a demeanor of being able to take a stance in your life, find progressional movement, to heal away from things that are causing you too much stiffness, strife. Find a common accord. Maybe pay attention to Egyptian nomadic symbols in which um, many of us, divines, as well as among others in our past lives, had experiences where we may have had to use Egyptian like practices or means to communicate within our body, letters, numbers, forms, language, or just protection symbols. Allow yourself to be there, but make sure that you are breaking free sometimes and that you're rubbing on yourself, that you're maintaining this form of exquisiteness with your body, that you're sending yourself comfort, that you're not harming yourself, that you're making sure to rub things out, that you're adjusting yourself, allowing things to pop without judging yourself if you have an issue here. Sometimes those who have too much carpal tunnel, they sometimes get too stiff sometimes when they're in recovery and don't do the thing in which they need to, which is actually unstiffen themselves. Okay. I'm also being told here to think less of crazier things happening and just relieve yourself through recognizing that maybe you went through something like even allergy season enhancing or something in which you may not have recognized, or maybe yaw enhancements of connection to like yaw attacks. Okay, just be mindful of that. I just went through one myself as it was an exhaustive energy. All right, and there was some people who were kind of attacking nearby in my area, but we also have to remember some of them didn't know what was in their Lindsay area to calculate what they were healing or recovering from, which is y'all. Okay, y'all has a form of causing issues that relate to enhancement of dermatitis. And it can be related to some people who may have wanted to harm somebody's osteoporosis. Okay, so that doesn't mean that any of us in my home have it. It's just about knowing that somebody may have come in contact with somebody who just had disdain for a person that much that they wanted to cause them harm by using my vessel and other people's vessels. And excuse my background. there's a little bit of cleaning that's happening, I guess. Nosiness, but you know how that is. Nevertheless, there's going to be an energy of change that comes in where you have to change your momentum. You have to get out of the energy of infrequency. You have to recognize that you do have to keep going, and you do have to make sure that at some points in time that you do have like monitors, you do have good security, you do have good watch over protectors. It's not about being dark, it's about recognizing that in truth some things just may happen, you know, and that is meant to happen when you are recovering from loss or grief and things like that. So you have a lot of things like that that may happen for yourself, and also things that may have calm downs that relate to things that may transgress or how they may happen. Also, making sure that you are hydrating yourself, that you have the proper fluids or that you have the proper coolants when you're outside traveling around, using social media too, or engaging with your phone, vehicles, things like that, making sure that things are dry, making sure that things are clear, making sure that things are clean. If you struggled or you experienced some sort of explosive attacks when it related to phones and things like that, or near ending experience in connection to asthmatic symptoms, and you had fraud at the time, and you had stolen theft, my condolences to you because I'm sincerely here with you. I know that those things may deeply affect you, as it is considered things mm, that may have wanted to disqualify you from factory work in which you wanted to do, or you had an engagement with at some point in time. You may find that you're still able to do it. I'm being told if you consider working in interior design room decorators or warehouses, they have areas and things like that for you. And it may relate to you like in real estate, home, staging, housings, and things like that. You may like Vern Yip or Vernon Yip and their designs, which is very cool. Oh, goodness. Okay. I love HGTV too a whole lot. And some other like TLC. I was big into those too, so I get it. And oh my gosh, like Candace, like if they would have put Candace, y'all, on that fucking show, and which they did, she was a heavy like I don't even know what the fuck I would have done. And you want to know who I thought like really grew like a whole lot? Genevieve. Genevieve, and I think it was Mr. Doug, if I'm not mistaken. Like sincerely. I was like, oh my goodness. I think that they worked in a lot of work offices and buildings and things like that. And I didn't understand how they once used this wheat on this wall at some point. But I was like, maybe if I was there in the room, it would appear different. Because at the time, I think that he said TV sucks. And he was trying to get some sort of update so that people could see textures on walls better. That was like his main goal. Nevertheless, I'm on a tangent. I just feel like you'll feel good about things and you'll feel great. Textures are very significant and pretty cool and important. They're very common. And for me to pick up on a weaving like that, like a basket weave, maybe that could be something that you practice touching or you go out to appreciate or you see if you can find in your area that might help you to calm down. And also, if you're great at like symbolisms and things like that and you like to read weavings, that might be something cool to take an interest in too. But nevertheless, I didn't want to ramble too much. I just want to say hello to you guys and I pray all is well, get back to working and things like that. And also be mindful, I did have some cards that I thought may have came out, but they didn't, with the Divine Feminine Entrepreneur deck from Maddie Aruna introducing the rooms, but they didn't want to appear yet, but they did when I was shuffling through. So I know it does work well together. So just rather awesome. I miss you guys very much. Pray all is well. And let's go ahead and see if we can send some numbers. Maybe some numbers of intrigue or interest to you guys. I think it's going to be my last one and I'll close it off. Yep. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope and pray all is well with you. Like I said, I pray you take care and that you improve. Love and light to you. Many blessings. Bye.